What's up, Rockstars? Today I have another prototype to show you. This is a game coming to Kickstarter. I've only covered it once before, and now it's time to actually look at the real deal. So let's take a look at it right now. Alright, so I don't have to really do too much work to open this up, but as I do, a friendly reminder that my channel is brought to you by my lovely patrons and YouTube members. It's through their financial support that I'm able to stay as independent as I am, where I accept no money from any game dev company. So when I tell you my opinions on games like Candy Wars, you know it's my honest opinion and not my wallet's opinion, because they didn't pay me to say anything. If you want to join one of them, link in the description below. Alright, so here we have the game. Now, one thing I noticed right away, at least looking at it this way, For Fun Games hasn't put a prototype labeling anywhere, but this is an early copy, so obviously anything could still change. However, this looks really nice, so let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. It looks like it's actually already split here. Now, obviously, I didn't get it shipped to me the same way all of you guys will, but so I've seen a little bit about this game, and from what I can tell, it looks kind of like that. Is it Queen's Gambit or something like that for Star Wars with the multi-layers, but then also with Arcadia Quest vibes. On the back, obviously, this is probably not all final. Normally, they put some stuff here, though maybe not. Either way, I like the look of it. But that looks actually really nice and clean. But this side looks pretty good too. Now it says here, 10 minutes per player, which is awesome. 2 to 4 gnomes or people. I'm sure people can play this too. And only 14-plus-year-old gnomes, probably people as well. The reason you see 14-plus, by the way, is for regulation purposes. So that, especially on something that looks very kid-friendly, so some idiot parent doesn't buy this for their 3 or 2-year-old that puts all the pieces in their mouth. So that's where that 14 plus goes. It doesn't mean like this is some mature game in that sense. It's not. Looking on the inside, like this is a legit box. Like it feels like a legit box. And the glue job here has a little bit to be desired. Right, that definitely needs to be pushed down. That'll collect dust, that'll fray up as I'm pulling stuff off all the time, and definitely not something you necessarily want. The rest looks good. A little bit of a spot here, but you know, otherwise we're all right. Okay, looking at the box here, we got lots of color. All right. So, first we have what looks like probably a scoreboard in the shape of, oh, it's a heart. So there's 30 and 15 marked. That's the halfway. Actually, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. So every 5 has a special color there. And the back is just a nice little kind of whatever that is. Okay. Next we have some tokens and tiles and whatnot. Oh, now see, they're just falling out. I love it. Love it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That's great. What is that? That's kind of interesting. I don't know what that is. It's like a tiny, tiny little sliver of it. Oh man. Oh, they're just falling out, which is great. This feels really nice. I don't think this is sealed. But like I can't separate the pieces. This is definitely like very compressed to where, you know, sometimes I'll do this and you just start seeing fraying, but I'm not seeing anything. I might see a little bit if I do that. See right there at the edge there, but and it's starting to get a little bit weaker. You can kind of bend it a little bit if you see that. Definitely a softer kind of paper material was used here. Tags are almost non-existent. Color on it's good too. That's actually a big thing for these prototypes. I don't know how much you guys notice this in the filming of it, but when playing it, you definitely notice colors can be way off. Oftentimes things are just darker. Sometimes it can be hard to read cards or symbols on them and stuff like that, but this looks great. So if it gets, I mean, shoot, if it gets brighter than that, it's even more insane. Looks like they probably fit a kind of a certain way though. Like that wouldn't make much sense. So, but they fit a certain way. I don't know what the back is here at all. It looks like it's different spots as well. So maybe there's an alternate. I don't know, because those are all different. Like I don't know what's going on there, actually, to be perfectly honest. Like, does it go like this? I don't know. And I guess you could, right? Why not? Okay, I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to read the rule book and look. But let's look at some of these smaller ones here. So a little bit of a tag there. If you just pop them out, they typically just pop out. This one had a tiny bit of a tag. No tear, though. Let's pop them out the other way. Even more pop out. These are great. Yeah, I'm totally fine. For a prototype, these are fine. Fine, fine, fine. These are all circle too, even though they have the different, like a heart in there and stuff like that, which is kind of fun. But they are not actually different. They're all circles. Move that to the side. Let's see what else we have. Anything else of a... Jeez, these are just going to fall out. No, that's pretty much it. So I don't feel like we need to do every single one. Right? That's not necessarily useful to anyone, I don't think. Okay, the tokens are double-sided. Most of the double sides do have a different value of some kind on there, by the looks of it. Like it's not just necessarily a repeat. Okay, let's go and move all of those. Get this box back. All right, got some. Oh, it smells weird. Separation, because they're lucky you don't have smell-o-vision, and some more separation. Even like a little cut here. And okay, see, these are now. This is obviously again prototype, right? Let's go and take all of the all the minis. Move those to the side. So many minis and dice. Let's take the dice, put them here. Some cards, some more minis, lots of minis. Individually bagged minis. Some more tokens, some more cards. Oop, whatever those are. Base rings, and then lots more. Oh my gosh. All of the minis. All right. Definitely have to take a look at that in a moment, in a bit. I want to make sure there's nothing in these, but I suspect there's not. And probably bad guy ones too. Now, what's interesting about this is what I was talking about, where you'll have like tiles up above. I don't know exactly how if they just sit like that, it looks like you would probably slot something in there. So I don't know if there's a separate sized one. Take a quick gander, quick look-see. Let's see if these are any different sizes at all. Are there top ones? Maybe. I don't know. Is this a different size? Let's see one. Oh, here's a different one. No, that's still too big. But then you have like the skinny one here, and I don't even know what that's all about. You got another skinny one here. So, not sure exactly how they fit in. I'll let you guys know, obviously, in a review. I'm going to make a mess. I'm going to look too much more. But either way, you stack them up, and you have different levels that you can kind of be at. And it looks like, I mean, these are doubled up, so there's actually plenty. Oh, I bet that's just slides in so you can do this stuff. I bet you do this. That's what you do. Okay. But then how does it only go on the top? No, surely there's a way to... I'm not sure. I'll take a look. Whatever. I'm doing too much now. But, I mean, you could... I think I've seen up to 3 even stacked. So you could just keep going if you really wanted to, like that. Don't tip it over. Again, prototype. These are obviously, I would imagine, 3D printed. They're definitely coated with some thick paint right now, so which is fine. It means it looks good. It looks fine. So I dig it. Okay, let me put that back. Put that back like that. Like that. I don't think nothing. Yeah, there's nothing in these. Okay, these are just there for structure and space, which is nice. I'll take that. Get back in. There we go. All right. Move that to the side. Let's look at some cards. Yeah, sure. Open that. Open that. All right. Now, looks like we have a fair amount of cards, but not actually too much. And from what I just felt, I think they're really skinny. Which, again, prototype. But, something to note, definitely want to have them thicker, so should probably ask what the thickness they're thinking of, or maybe what core they're going to use in the cards. Those kind of questions can really help you decide how thick and structurally sound they are. Right now, these are pretty much just paper. That being said, it feels nothing like paper. Like this coating on it feels like nothing, but it doesn't like have. It feels like printer paper almost. Like there's no real like solid core in this at all. This is not a black core card or anything like that. Double-sided, different on both sides. This is have the Sugar Rush there. That's exciting. Get your Sugar Rush in. Let's see what else we got here. These are very skinny, so I'm trying to be a little gentle here. Marley, I Shot the Sheriff. And Danny Sprinklers. And Stuart, I Am a Superhero. Pepe, Eat This. How many of them do they have? Gordy, Hey Crunch Stop. What? Honey, Eat My Donuts. All right. And Jess, Open Up and Take It. And Maya, Time to Chew on Gum. Okay, so some of these, some borderline innuendo. But, this, no, not innuendo. Yeah, Open Up and Take It was my favorite. If I had to pick one. Okay, moving on from that. Easter Egg Bazooka. I like it. All right, that's more like it. That's fun. A chocolate thrower. So I have a flamethrower. I dig it. A chocolate straw, blueberry popsicle, raspberry popsicle. It's very important to have the difference. Imagine the differences in dice or something like that. Let's say movement, dice, attack, range. In which case, the difference is the attack. Blueberry is stronger than raspberry. Let it be known. A sugar-free candy cane. Don't have too many of those. You'll have poop problems. Lollipop Battle Axe. Heck yes. That's awesome. I dig it. Looks like there's probably a push. Lollipop Shooter. That could hurt depending on the lollipop. M&M Automatic Machine Gun. This is automatic, not machine gun. We've got the bubblegum pistol and the wrapped tuffle shot. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Townsfolk Tussle and just kind of the silly, wonky vanilla sniper weapons and stuff that you can get, which I actually kind of dig. A wrapped truffle handgun. So you got a few of those. So like a starting weapon, perhaps, probably. Gummy balls automatic. Bubblegum machine gun. Cheesecake explosive gift. Don't eat that cheesecake. Cupcake launcher. Right into your mouth. Open up and eat it, I think the card said. Liznett the Cake Eater. These are the bad guys. And Ziggy Captain Pork. Captain Pork. They call me at a bacon eating contest. And how many shades of red are you, I guess, after reading some of those names. All right, there's those. Next we have utility cards. All right, all utility cards. I love the look of these cards, by the way. The rounded and the kind of the wrapping here. It is kind of interesting to note that these have a border and these were borderless. I don't know if you noticed that or not. All right, zoom in a little bit because we're going to be looking at small things now. All right, here's utility cards, and we have just like symbols. I'll have to know what these are. I'll read the rule book. I'll let you guys know. Probably some movement, maybe. Probably some shields, maybe. Probably some dice, maybe. Probably some punches, maybe. That'd be my guess. Any combination of them. And then some super punches. I don't know what's going on there. I like that one, though. That one's colorful. Got a few of those. I dig it. Not the same card, though. I don't know if there are any repeats. If there are, I'm not seeing them offhand. Here's some hearts. Not too many symbols at all, which is good. It means kids could be able to understand this, I think, pretty quickly, at least based off symbols. This almost looks like a helper card, right? So like push, I don't know. I'm not sure what these necessarily mean. We've seen these a time and again. I'll just note that these are not the rubber kind or silicone kind. These are the hard plastic kind. And they are smaller than your average one. As far as I can tell, they look pretty small. Color-wise, I like them. I can tell them all apart. As somebody who's partially colorblind, these look fine to me. Get 2 of each. These discs, I have no idea what they're for. They are hard plastic though, and very smooth and super colorful. They look to match pretty darn close. The yellow versus orange. The red's fairly close, both dark red. Green, fairly close, so this is a dark green, and the blue is also a little bit darker as well. These are a little bit more muted than these. These are a little bit stronger of a color, higher pigment, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, next up we have some cubes. Not just any cubes. Pink and purple and brown and black and white cubes. These look great. This looks like the cube bubble gum. I want to eat this. This is like not just 14 plus. This is gonna be like this. None of this is food. Please don't eat any of this. This is a good brown. I know it sounds weird, but a lot of browns are very dark, and the fact that I have the black, I can see those instantly. I don't know if these colors are final. Again, this is a prototype, but I really like that brown. It's definitely brown, but it's definitely not black. It's not a super dark one. Yeah, these look great. The black really stand out, and maybe that's on purpose, right? The rest are all kind of light colored, and the black is, you know, blackest day, darkest night. Okay. Dice. Only one color dice. Makes me a little sad. That being said, it's a Kickstarter with minis, and they have dice, so that means they can totally have some dice packs. So if you want these in different colors, I'm sure they might be able to accommodate if they so choose. Right off the bat, I will say the dice are very rounded, which means they're going to roll really nice. If you get the square ones, they tend to just hit a side and plop a little bit. They need a lot more force to turn, but when it's curved like that, it's a lot easier to turn. So you get a little bit more bounce and a little bit more roll out of it because of that. I'm seeing some of these similar things here, like the push and a heart and some candy and the lollipop and a discard or draw, and then of course a damage. The paint job inside is not the best, but again, this is a prototype, so you can't expect too much from that. Maybe you could raise the roof a little bit or push. I don't know what it is. But I love the color. The white and pink I think look good. In fact, these could almost be a little bit lighter pink, and I think it might be pretty good. But I think they match fairly close. That's fairly close, right? Maybe this is a different hue, but still. All right, well, that's all the components. The only thing left to look at is miniatures. So why don't we do that? Looks like you get a lot, by the way. Now, obviously, I think some of these are repeats, so let's try and organize it a little bit. Let's see, got the big guy here. Let's see, so definitely repeats. That looks like we got 4 of those guys. See if that's a common thing at all. I think the gnomes are going to be unique. My assumption there. So we got quite a few of them here. Oh, look at that little guy! I'll have to look at him. Okay. Alright. Oh man, how many characters have we got here? My goodness. Okay, that's more little guys. More Farmer Joes. Another gnome. Lots of gnomes. My goodness. Oh, wheelchair gnome. We'll have to look at that too. Okay, him, and him again. Okay, lots of those. Only 3 of those. So different. We got 3 of these guys. 3 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and 4 of these. So, and then all of these I think are unique. So let's go ahead and look at the bad guys first. We have 3 different kinds to look at here. Sorry, 4 different kinds to look at here. So you won't have to suffer through me doing this too much. All right. These are looking nice. Okay, so let's zoom in even more, now that we're looking at minis. All right, very static pose, though the facial expression looks really nice. Let me make sure that's in really nice focus for you. There you go. The outside has textured on the base, on the rim, and I really like that. That just looks nice. There's a design kind of texture on the bottom as well, and it's sufficient to take a wash, actually. Probably not a dry brush very well, a very light dry brush perhaps. The design with the upturned toes there are quite nice. The fact that this is attached to the base, I appreciate, and it's fairly thick, so it'll even handle well with PVC, because there's nothing else supporting this, but I think it'll hold its shape pretty well here. You can see kind of the layers from the print there. That's funny. The texture on the armor is cool. In fact, there's even some battle damage on it, which is kind of interesting to see from gumball launchers. The detail here on the back is very faint. Right here. That's probably my least favorite so far. These lines as well, probably not the best. This one's a little shallow. This one's a little bit crisper. For the fingers, they do have a good amount of separation. They do have thumbnails and some wrinkles, which is kind of nice to see. Definitely kind of a big head, big, feet and hands style. But otherwise, the transition between the foot and the base, even it being one piece, is very nice. Same with the fact that the head looks like a different piece because that goes so far in there. You get that little bit of a shadow like it's been set on top of, which is perfect for what you want. But overall, though, very static, at least that guy. All right, so next we have this guy. Now, what I'm seeing here, at least in the enemies, is that they all look fairly static. They're not some crazy dynamic thing of any kind. But they look like they were sculpted with an idea of how they will look like in the final production, which is quite nice to see. Exact same base, by the way, same top and everything. It doesn't look any different at all. Definitely larger in the top area, and then kind of skinnier down here as he kind of goes down, and the big feet, hands, and head, obviously. The ears are very different from the last ones. If you see the last guy's ears. So, same race, very different ears. I appreciate that. This guy has some hair and a very ugly nose. And it looks like a spork crossbow, which I really dig. Again, the fingers are actually molded, which is nice. Some basic muscle definition, nothing crazy. Definitely something that would paint up very quickly and look great in a lot of bright colors, but not like super high and like crazy detail or anything like that, which fits the theme, I think, as well. You don't need to... if everything's cupcakes and crap, you're going to only have so much. Again, same base. It looks like they all share the exact same base. Again, a very static pose, almost T-pose. Just bent the arms a little bit, separated the legs a little bit, perhaps. Again, different ears. They're skinny like this guy, and it has a notch, but much higher, and the shape on the bottom is different, too. I am appreciating all that. It's almost like their hairstyle. That makes it just have a little bit of a hair there, too. And you can see those print lines, too. I like how they're all wearing different stuff too. So this guy has actual shoulder pads and like a loincloth and like a belt or a bandolier or something like that. And then of course there's two knives. The knives are actually a good thickness, not too skinny, but not too fat either, which I really appreciate. You get a lot of those little guys too. Last enemy type that I have here. Again, Kickstarters unlock all sorts of things typically. Again, exact same base no matter what the size is. They're pretty much this size. And a huge, very fat blade. So a couple things here. First of all, I love the design. Love the big belly. I love the kind of wide beard kind of weird look thing here. Again, different ears. In fact, a different notch on different side. This, I think, is supposed to be wooden. However, the detail level on that wood is not very good. Additionally, the claws... don't really have an end space very well. It looks like it's supposed to be this indent, but could not be too. Does have a little bit of a dimple there for the belly button, which is cool. I dig that. I love the overturned part here. Wrappings look nice. Let's just paint really quick. I love the icing, not blood, icing. It's strawberry jam on the end of his gigantic blade. That being said, his blade is like laughably thick. Like if you look at this guy's blades. Now, obviously, it's a different size, but if you look at this guy's blades, and I mean, look at the different. Like this is like thicker than his leg. This is a very, very thick blade. I would be nice if this was made a little bit skinnier. Otherwise, though, I actually really like this guy. Again, these would paint so pleasantly. A lot of times you get all this detail, like, wow, look at all the detail, but painting it is a chore. It takes 6 hours and some junk like that, and you get tired of the little fiddly bits. This, you could paint all of them in that time, and they would look awesome. It reminds me a lot of stuffed fables in that sense, and I mean that as a compliment. The only thing I would like to maybe see a little bit more of between these kind of guys is the non-standard look. They are all pretty much just standing there. None of them are in an attack pose. He's the closest. He's literally posing for a camera somewhere for his like graduating bad guy school photo picture. That's what he's doing. Same with him. He's the awkward guy that just like did really good in the kitchen, and his mom wants to take a picture of it and like, oh, look what you made your first dinner, but he's an awkward teenager, so he's gonna stand there and hold his like utensil up. I kid, of course, but you get my gist of it, right? Is they're not like going in for a stab or a swipe or anything like that. All right, now we have a whole bunch of heroes there. I want to pick the wheelchair one. My daughter, when she was going through school in her first grade, second grade, stuff like that, she had a student that needed some help, had some mental issues, but it was also in a wheelchair, and she always volunteered to the point where the kid just expected it, and they even stopped asking. She just did it, but she would volunteer to push him around and stuff like that. And I think that was it really inspired her to care a lot about this kind of stuff. So even though she's not wheelchair bound, I have a special needs son too, maybe a little bit of that, but she loves this stuff. So seeing this character, I know exactly what she will pick. I like the meeple, by the way, on the back. I think that's kind of a smart little badge thing. Again, I love how this comes off the base. I love that it is actually treaded. That looks nice too. These kind of rocket cup holders are great, and I love how he's just mounted with a gun and ammo there, ready to shoot. The hairstyle fits the style of the miniature really well. Big cheeks, bushy eyebrows, definitely a gnome. I think this looks great. The only issue I have with these are painting sitting down characters really sucks. Because getting your brush in there is going to be difficult, but this is nice. I like that guy a lot, actually. All right. And again, I know for a fact that's what my daughter would pick, so. At the moment I tell her it's in there, she's like, oh, when can we play it? Soon. Okay, look at that popsicle and all that icing melting off that. That is so awesome. What I love about that is I could paint that bright freaking pink and it would work. And I think that's hilarious. The question is, does he have the raspberry popsicle or not, right? Which version does he have? That's the real question there. Love the hair. Again, bushy eyebrows. Mustache is definitely separated from the beard, and then he's pretty much just all nose other than that. The weapon looks good. Him holding looks good. I can see the finger going into the where the trigger is. I love that he's busy eating a donut while shooting people. That's always a bonus, I think. There is a little bit of a kind of odd, do you see that little circle around here? And I don't know why that's there. Perhaps just to be a little bit different. The patch, by the way, looks good too. So definitely some cool minis here. Let's look at some. This one has glasses. Glasses are always hard to do in miniatures and not make them look dumb. But I think people have been getting better and better at them. But there was a time where I wasn't happy with almost any of them. A lot of right leg forward. He had it as well there. So we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. The glasses, I think, will end up looking quite good because you can see through them and actually paint the eye behind it. I think which will certainly help when you paint them like black or white or blue, whatever you want to paint them. I love the little drip coming from the gun. I think that's great. Again, this is a cartoon style, and I think they're doing it quite well. The thickness, by the way, the base is quite nice too. Tube looks good. Connecting piece looks good. I love that he's wearing gloves. This kind of reminds me of like Robin from Batman. Like if Robin, the silly version, was like trying to sell cakes. All right, next we have some other lady. Again, the hairstyle here is awesome. I love that instead of strands, it's shape and volume. And being able to manage that, I think, looks great. She has goggles above, which means then she get her full eyes. I will say, at this detail, in this prototype right now, I'm actually really impressed with this. She has sculpted eyes with both eyelashes on the top and bottom on this face. She actually has teeth showing in her mouth that's open, which again is great. She actually has a candle on the little tiny cupcake, and the cupcake has a wrapping around it. darn impressive. This is actually the most detailed mini they have. This is actually pretty darn good. I like that a lot. Looks great. A little bit of cleanup from the print, you know, with the post, but otherwise good to go. So I saw this. This is one of the first heroes I saw when I was looking into the game, and this guy cracks me up. I'll explain why as soon as I can actually open a bag. And, you know, maybe you can just tell why. It's because he has the walking Gatling gun. I mean, 4-barrel Gatling gun. Heck yeah, that's just ridiculous. Big, bushy eyebrows, upturned mustache. It just is kind of a hilarious situation in general with belt fed. I love it. That's great. The gun in the back is cool too, I guess. But I love that. The lollipop shoulder blades or shoulder pads, also super cool. Only 3 more, and then we are done. I'll tell you guys what's up next, obviously, and we'll go from there. Okay, so none of these, by the way, like this is pretty much the most attacking position we have, and that's just because it's always pointed forward. He's holding it down, smiling, just kind of walking. This person, he literally has it over the shoulder, looking down, not up. However, again, the popsicle dripping is awesome. Love it. The fact that he's looking to the left, with kind of a grin and raised eyebrows. It's very interesting. Gives him definitely a personality. And the hair is fantastic. This might be my favorite hair, coupled by hers. But I wouldn't think this kind of droopy, long hair would work right now. But that looks awesome, actually. I love that. The belt is not quite as good as I would hope. However, I think this will still stand fairly well in the final production, and of course they can always increase the depth of those portions of the belt. It's nice that this goes in here. You can paint that black. It looks like a tube that goes all the way in. In general, while it's a casual, you know, I'm standing here pose, I love almost a disinterested look that he has. I think that's great. Okay, one more after this. And here we go. Again, love the freaking like ninja star cookies that she has going on here. Again, a smirk where literally her smile is on one side only. It's literally a smirk just over there. I've not seen that on a miniature before, and that's great. Again, the eyes are sculpted with eyelashes on the top and bottom, plus eyebrows, plus hair, plus beanie, plus the weapon on the back. Now the weapon on the back is, you know, very plain and a little sad, but otherwise I think this works out well, and definitely looks great. They have a lot of detail in the faces, which is awesome because we'll be looking at. These are going to look so cool painted. I'm about to show you the whole batch of them, and you can see this would look great paint. Oh, I want to paint some of these. These look exciting. Okay, next up, this definitely looks like a squirt gun, which is awesome. Love it. That's fairly secure, which is also nice. She has a much bigger hat than the other girls do, and again, very swooshy kind of hair. Same eyelashes and eyebrows. Love the kind of side belt cookies and stuff they have. And this time, again, she has another kind of base raising here, which is nice to see. I didn't note, but she does this well in like a brick. Okay, so that's all the miniatures, but as you can see, these characters are just super interesting, like in a cool way. While they're not like super actiony, they have a lot of charm. And again, I can barely manage having all these painted and these like crazy bright colors. Like that would just like having them fit this world sounds awesome. Just painting popsicles sounds ridiculous. I never thought I would have done that, but there we go. And of course, you know, you got the bad guys too. So that is Candy Wars. Again, that's going to be on Kickstarter here soon. This is by 4Fun Games. They're new to the table scene and looking good as far as I can tell. I like what I'm seeing here. I will do a full review. I'll let you guys know how that looks. And so be sure to tune in for that with the subscribe button plus the bell so that YouTube actually tells you when I post a video. Additionally, I'll be covering the Kickstarter itself along with a ton of other Kickstarters, so plenty to look forward to there. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you real soon.